Okay, continuing on with drawing 10-3. Again, I've already brought in the bolt and the nut from the design center, and in the last video I made the washer and the spacer. So next, I guess I will do the base. I think it's called, yes, the base. So I'll start with the top view, since that seems a little simpler. And let's change that back to my 0 layer. It has a rectangular base of 6.25 by 6.25, so it's a square base. Okay. I'm going to draw a diagonal line there to easily establish the center of that square. I can snap to the midpoint of that line, and that will be the center both vertically and horizontally. So let's draw a diameter 0.5 through hole. Oh, wait a minute, the 0.5 diameter through holes are the ones that surround it. This through hole is a 1-inch diameter. So I'll get rid of that one, make that again. Diameter 1. Okay, now the hub has a diameter of 2. And the counterbore has a diameter of 1.25. Okay. Now I'll switch over to center line and draw my bolt circle, which has a diameter of 3.5. Switch back to 0 and draw one of those 4 holes that have a diameter of 0.5. And again, I could do an array, but I think for only 4 items, it's just as easy and quick to do a couple copies. I can get rid of that. And it looks like we need some center lines. You know what I'll do? I'll just come down here. I already drew a couple lines for the spacer. I'll just reuse them, copy them up here to use it in my base drawing. I'm going to need some more room here to fit this in, so I'll drag that up. I'll move it. And I can use some construction lines. Just draw straight down an arbitrary length, and then come over. Now, let's see, what's the feature called that I've got turned on? Object snap tracking, I believe, is it. With this feature turned on, you can do things like this. I want to draw a line straight over that aligns with that point. So I come up and touch that point, come over. When I see then there, the intersection of those 2 green lines, I can snap and know that I have a perfectly horizontal line whose endpoint aligns with that corner vertically above. And then this base has a height of 1.5. I'll draw from the quadrant point of the outside of the hub down to that line and over. The hub has an overall height, so I'll copy the bottom of it up 4.25. I'll trim these lines, and maybe then I'll mirror these lines and do a little more trimming. Trim that and that. Okay, the counterbore depth is 0.5. And then I've already drawn the diameter of the counterbore, so I'll just snap to its quadrant points, draw a line straight down, and trim it up. Then I can draw lines straight down from the quadrant points of the through hole or bore diameter from above and trim that up. And do the same thing for these holes that surround the hub in the base. Trim the two of them. Again, I like to copy things I've already used. There's no sense in drawing it again. But I'm going to need something to snap to here. Let's do this. I'll draw a diagonal line there so I can snap to that midpoint. Then I can just take all three of those lines and mirror them to the right side. Nope. Drag that up another 1/4 inch and turn it into a center line. Switch to the hatch layer and make some hatch. Now, this hatch pattern for the base is still the ANSI 131, the diagonal lines, but they're rotated at an angle of 90 degrees, so that they're going down and to the right rather than down and to the left. The reason for that is because when we assemble the base and the spacer, we don't want the hatch lines to be going parallel to each other. That'll make it seem as if that's one integral part. We want to very clearly show that these are in fact two separate parts that are assembled together. And so the way we do that is by making sure that the hatch lines, the section lines, are not the same, and rotating them 90 degrees is a good way to do that. So I think I'll cut it off right there and do the shoulder pin in the next video.